gentlemen, this is Justin, and where's Max? Oh, there he is. Justin and Max Games, and we're going to do a quick review of a game called Mystic Vale. The game is from 2016, which in board game years these days seems like forever. And we learned it at our local friendly game shop, and we got it soon afterwards. What do you can tell us a little bit about your opinion about the game?
So I actually really like how in the components-wise, you have to slide the advancements that you buy into cards, and there's the bottom, middle, and top, and you have to build cards and don't get that many bad trees.
It was the first one of its kind where you it's a deck builder, but you actually get to make your card.
It's a making deck builder.
Making deck builder. There's three things that I think everyone should know about the game if they're considering it, and there's tons of videos about how to play the game and everything like that. One, you have to be okay with luck.
Yes.
Because you may build what they call a card crafting system, where you sleeve cards in different ways. The components are off the charts in my estimation. The art, the texture of the clear cards,
and especially once we got the 2 expansions, is because when we first got it, it was nice, but since we're air quote a little bit more advanced board gamers, these 2 expansions really gave it another level of difficulty.
Yeah.
So it made it more fun.
And there's a Dominion quality about the game, in the sense that you may choose some things that really are going to really work well together.
And you could almost maybe push your luck.
And in Dominion, it may never come up. Like, oh, I have these 3 cards; they really work together.
But they'll never.
Might not come up.
Mystic
In this
Vale,
one,
you play it long enough that you most likely will get your few good cards together. At
and
least
that's the
once or
thing.
twice.
There is luck, but you could mitigate it by saying, usually in card games, you have a hand of 5, or you have a hand of 4, or you have a hand of 6. Here you have a hand of whatever you think you can handle.
Because you have a hand that you keep drawing until you get 2 or 3 dead trees,
Right.
uncancelled by a good tree, and that last one goes on the deck, and you can choose to take that card into your play area.
But if you draw another one,
If you draw another one that you've revealed 4, and then that gets discarded, and
the whole hand is gone.
but if you don't push your luck, you might get slightly less stuff.
Right. So
But you still might be able to get.
There's a
stuff.
double level of luck in some ways. It's the cards that come up. It's if you're going to push your luck, you know what's still in your deck, what you're going to draw. And hopefully, it's not going to be something that will make you spoil, as that's the bust in this game is called spoiling. But really, what you're building, in my experience with this game, is that you're really building up over the course of the game to maybe 2 or 3 real strong hands that you could do a ton of stuff on, and I call them mega hands. And the fact that also you can get points many different ways. You can get points from the kinds of cards that you build. There's end game points on them. There's the Vale cards, the ones that have the special symbols that you could buy, and the ones that kind of accrue points over the course of the game, that every time you draw them successfully, you get a couple of points from them. So I like that sense that you can get points a lot of different ways. You mentioned that we have a couple of expansions, and there's even more. We have 2 expansions. There's even more.
I was just going to say that there's a bunch more expansions, and I don't really know that much about them, but all I know is that the 2 that we have are very cool with the tokens that you can get.
Right, we have Mystic Vale, what's it called? Vale of the Wild.
And Mana Storm.
Mana Storm. And you can get your own player, basically, that comes up throughout the game. And, the thing is, with the expansions, similar to my experience with Dominion, is that the game, if you just have the base game, if you just have...
It's fun.
Mystic Vale, it is fun, and there's a couple of ways of scoring. Once you get the expansions and have to keep track of all the various things on the cards...
weight shoots up.
Yeah, it really becomes a much more thinky game. And in fact, I almost feel like, although obviously it would have been impossible to predict it with the first game, that a scorecard would be needed, because there's so many different things you could score when you include the expansions. With the base game, there's a couple of ways of scoring the Vale cards.
What's your rating?
My rating on this game is, I've always thought of, in terms of the duration, the fact that I'm okay with it being a luck game, plus a little bit, and the art really shoots it up for me. And also
the art's amazing.
The art is amazing. And the theme of the game, which is to try to, it's a sort of this almost like
Fantasy world?
It's a mystical fantasy world, but you're trying to take lands that are not fertile,
Dead
not
and corrupted, and make them better.
exactly making them full of life, and that theme goes throughout the game in all of the imagery with the people, with the magic, with the cards, and even on these little details. I really enjoy them, and the fact that each of the cards that you could put in has their own name, and the theme seems to fit with it. I'm giving it a solid 8.
I'm actually going to give it, with all of those things put into consideration, a 9.
A 9.
And if you've watched my top 10 video, isn't it?
That's right. This is in Max's top 10 games that we bought this previous year. Now we're in 2019, so who knows what things are going to be from now. But anyway, I think that puts us at an 8.5, and I do think that's a fair assessment.
8.5 is a very good rating for Mystic Vale. Ah!